their childhoods, and what did they have in common, what didn't they have in common. And what they found out is that there was no correlation between like IQ and expert performance. And so all the things that they looked at and studied, they found out that the evidence showed that experts were actually made and created, not necessarily had an innate ability when they were born. So I thought that was really interesting. To take that a little bit of a step further, there were actually two um, educators from Hungary. And what was funny is they were dating for a while and they had been separated. And the one educator had written the other, he had written her a letter, and they were boyfriend and girlfriend. And he said, I really think we could make people who are um, elite performers and basically geniuses in some type of subject, will you marry me? So these two people got together and they took their children from the time they were 3 years old and started teaching them chess. And what ended up happening is their three daughters became some of the top ranked female chess masters, and actually beat Bobby Fischer. The youngest actually beat Grandmaster Bobby Fischer at age 15. And I just say that to you guys to just impart to you that, whatever you do, whether it's nursing or being organized, it takes practice. It's going to take you changing your habits and going through some of those things. So I want you to take the next step, and I want everybody to take about 30 seconds and I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to think about what it's going to take and what the ideal nursing student looks like. So just take a few seconds and think about that. Okay, so you guys, so what are some of the things, and I don't know if I can hear everything, so Crystal may have to kind of relay this to me. So what kind of things did you visualize when you had that 30 seconds? What does a perfect nursing student look like? Or what does that look like to you guys? Dedicated, I heard that. Prepared, right? I didn't hear that last one.
Willing to learn.
Willing to learn. I didn't hear that last one, sorry.
Learning how to prioritize.
Yep, learning to prioritize. Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys probably are already doing a lot of those things now, right? And that's what got you to where you are today. So, creating good habits, kind of looks like this. Some of the things you guys talked about: getting organized, being prepared, prioritizing, what is the most important thing that you've got to do? Because I know probably in these next couple of days with your orientation, you are being given lists, expectations that your instructors have for you guys. And it may be a little bit overwhelming. So what I want you guys to take away from this is, you're going to have to start to kind of work on your habits. And I suspect most of you guys have really good habits now, or else you wouldn't be in this class. For those of you who know you need to tweak some of your habits, or you've got to look at some stuff, these are some good tips that you guys can do: is waking up early, making a calendar, making to-do lists. I will tell you, in my early years, my mom used to tell me, like, make a to-do list. And I used to think, oh my gosh, that's crazy. I've got it all up here in my head. When you start to get overwhelmed, it's good to have this stuff on paper. And I can tell you from personal experience, because I used to not use to-do lists early on, there is something very gratifying to be able to cross something off a to-do list. Use a whiteboard if you want to. But sometimes when you've got so many things going up on inside of your brain, writing this stuff down just so you can kind of put it all on a piece of paper and figure out, okay, what are the most important things that you can prioritize can be really, really helpful. You guys are going to be hit with a lot of new things coming into nursing school. And when you get out of nursing school and you come to us, you know, in the working world, whether it's at Houston or you go to work at a physician's office or whatever you decide to do, those places of employment are going to have certain expectations of you guys, but you're still going to have to learn. You're not going to know everything walking into that new facility, so you're going to have to use those habits you guys have created here in nursing school and pull that over into the employment world. You guys are still going to have lots to learn, so don't feel like your learning is over with once you graduate nursing school. It is never over. There are always new products. There are always new items. There are always new best practice articles that are coming out. And as a nurse educator, you know, I'm constantly reading up on new things and going, oh, I didn't know that. You know, I've had nursing students come out of nursing school and tell me things that they're learning. And it may be something I hadn't been exposed to, because you guys learn a lot of new things as well. So, you know, those are things that'll kind of translate. You know, the other thing is this. You guys, whether you come here to our facility and work or whether you are in nursing school, you have lots of people who are going to have to support you and help you get through this program. You're going to have people in your life that need to, you know, help you get through, you know, working a new job. So whether that's friends or family, whether those people are helping watch your children while you go study. It may be a friend or family member who takes you out for a 5-minute cup of coffee and gives you an opportunity to de-stress because you just need somebody to talk to. Those things are important, so you need to structure your time for a little bit of fun as well. You have instructors who are going to help mentor you through this process. And if you don't understand something, make sure that you ask them. It's really important because a lot of these concepts that you guys are going to learn in nursing school are going to build on one another. When you guys come over to our facility, you're going to have peers who are going to help you and help you, you know, deepen your assessment skills, help you really hone in on, you know, how to work the IV pumps at every facility, or how to work the computer, or how to document. You guys are going to learn the very basics in nursing school, but when you come out, we don't expect you as a employer to know everything. That's why we have a 90-day orientation for you guys. Well, you know, we have a 90-day probationary period, but we orient all of our new grad med-surg nurses 12 weeks. So we want to make sure that you guys have the opportunity to see as much as you can during that 12 weeks, but still you're not going to see everything. So when you don't know something, or when I don't know something, I hit my resources. You know, in school, you're going to have people in the computer department, in the IT world. You probably have something called Employee Assistance Program or Student Assistance Program. They have counseling. Because you may get stressed out during this time. My goodness, you know, we're living in some unprecedented times, dealing with some unprecedented things. So it's no wonder people might get stressed out. So know that those things are available to you. I'm sure they also have financial counseling at the school. I know our EAP program have people who help kind of walk you through retirement and how to figure out kind of how to maneuver those things. You know, punctuality, very important. It's very important in nursing school. It's very important in the employment world. When you guys get hired on, to a facility, they're going to tell you your shift is 7, 8 a peak. Okay. What that really means in the employment world, and I can tell you every hospital in this area uses the same type of timing, is that you have got to be at the facility at 6:45 or before that. So you have to clock in between 6:38 and 6:45 because we give shift report at 6:45 in the morning to 7 o'clock, and we hit the floor running and start working with our patients. So, you know, early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. You know, when you're not on time, you know, it kind of tells people that you're disrespectful, you know, that you're inconsiderate of other people's time. It also signals that people maybe are overly busy. It may show that they don't care about other people. You know, when we have staff who are waiting for someone to relieve them, and that person says, hey, I'll be there in 30 minutes, you know, that keeps the other staff member waiting to hand their patient off. So that's never a good situation. Or we have to look for somebody else to cover that time. So in the hospital world, this is kind of what our time and attendance policy looks like. A half point for every tardy, 1 point for every call out, and they get cleared 3 months after 3 months if no other occurrence is accrued. When we have 7 to 9 points, then you're put on anywhere from 3 months to a year's probation. So depending on the situation. So just kind of be aware of those things. So what I would say to you guys is keep yourself healthy, eat well, take care of yourself, take care of that body that you have. Don't, you know, make sure that you take time to you know, eat healthy foods and take care of yourself. You don't want to get sick with a stomach ache or anything else like that that's going to keep you from doing clinicals, or, you know, even here in the hospital world, like when we're taking care of patients, our bodies need to be physically strong. We have to move people. We have to assist them to the bathroom. So, you know, it's important that we maintain our own physical health and mental health. The other thing is, what do you project to others? What does it look like? You know, are you the person that's, you know, sitting around talking in the nurse's station? Are you the person, I always like this little thing, you know, nurses, have the staff been eating again in the OR room? There's mayonnaise on the scalpel. So, you know, your habits are really going to build into what, you know, what you look like as far as an employee. Your habits are going to build in what you look like as a student, how you project yourself to others. And believe me, when you guys do clinicals, what you guys do on clinical site gets noticed. If you are that high performer who's curious and wanting to learn, and our staff take notice of that, they may very well go to the manager and go, oh, wow, you know, you really want to hire this person. You know, they're really, you know, look at how engaged they are in learning. So people take notice of what you guys do on clinical site and what your attitude is and how you want to learn. We love students. We absolutely love having you guys here. And we want you here in our facility to work. So just kind of think about those things. When you look at our staff members or any staff members, you know, or when you're getting taken care of in a doctor's office, you know, you look at some of these pictures and think, you know, if you're looking between this nurse and this nurse, which one do you want them, you know, which one do you want to give, you know, get a shot from? You know, our behavioral standards say that, you know, you really should, you know, try to keep your hair back, keep your hair up, make sure that your fingernails are less than a 1/4 inch long. And that's because we want to make sure that you're not introducing infection to our other to our patients, that you shouldn't be having gel or overlays on your fingernails. And those are things I take to heart. As a nurse residency coordinator, I run by the book. And I think it's important that not only, would I like to have gel fingernails? Absolutely. Do I want to have that look? Yeah. But I know it's not what's best for my patients, so I forego having those things. When I'm here on clinical site, if I am not expected to go into staffing, I might have my hair down, but if I think I might go into staffing, I'm just going to keep my hair up. It's just easier for me. It makes me look professional when I'm taking care of the patients. So just think about those things. I'm sure they're going to be talking to you about taking selfies. We're not allowed to. We shouldn't be taking pictures with our badges on. We don't want to represent Houston Healthcare. By taking a selfie and taking pictures of ourselves while on property. If you think it's not cool to take pictures of patients or anything like that, or take a picture of yourself while you're on site having a patient in the background, it's completely inappropriate. So those are things that you kind of have to be mindful of, because I think when we're out in the public and we're having fun and things like that, people take selfies and use their social media. But when you're thinking about how that translates to work and things like that, what do you want to project to others, and making sure that you are representing, the nursing brand in a manner that's professional. Having a positive attitude. Easy, right? Smile, support new ideas, be willing to help, positive comments about the team and organization, being optimistic, I think are all things that every employer wants. In these times, it's tough. You're seeing the, numbers on the TV going up where, admissions are going up and things like that. But I will tell you, working with the team here, it's been a really great experience for me. I said to our leader the other day, I would never want anybody in the whole world to have to go through a pandemic like this. But for me personally, and I've worked at this facility 18 years, there is no place I would rather work at than here, because our teamwork is really second to none, and we work well together. So having people like that at your side can make all the difference in stressful circumstances. Being respectful, that's important. When we deal with, when we talk with patients and things like that, we expect people to introduce themselves. Call the patients by the name that the patient prefers. Call the visitors by the name they prefer. That we talk to our peers and the people who are above, and in the delegation tree, if we're delegating stuff to other people, we need to be polite, and we need to be thankful for those people who help us. Because I can tell you, as a nurse, I can take care of twice as many patients if I have a great tech by my side. And I can tell you from personal experience, there have been techs who have personally come to me and said, he or she doesn't look so good. I think you need to go take a look at this patient. And those techs have saved people's lives. It may be that I was just coming on shift. I'm not familiar with the patient. And maybe the tech has taken care of this patient 2 or 3 days in a row, and they know they don't look the same as they did the days before. When we talk to our patients, we should be giving them our full attention, not doing something else. And we need to respect privacy of the patients, and other staff members as well. That we shouldn't be talking about people in the hallways. We shouldn't be talking about them in the cafeteria, because if we say, oh, there was a really cool code and it just happened, and yeah, we got it back, and then they died, and then wasn't that amazing that Dr. So-and-so did this? You may have a family member sitting next to you, or you may have a family member walking out of the building. Well, to that family member, it wasn't cool. So, there are HIPAA laws. We don't want to ever post anything on social media. about those things. I'm sure they've talked to you guys about those things as well. Team players. These are some of the things that we look for in employees. People who lend a hand, encourage others, people who don't keep score. Well, I did this for you, you should do this for me. It doesn't work like that. You know, if there's a problem with something, we have teammates who will come to us and say like, hey, I read this policy and, you know, we don't do this anymore. So we encourage folks to do that because, you know, as best we try to keep up on things, there may be something out there that we need to work on. And of course, avoid blaming others for things that happen as well. As far as, you know, people coming into our facility, we expect people to be courteous, sensitive to cultural differences, and handle concerns in a timely manner and treat others as you would a guest in your home, because no patient in our hospital wants to be there. You know, they already don't feel well. You know, they're worried. And, you know, even our family members, a lot of times I've heard people say, well, the family member's so worried and they're upset and, you know, the patient is doing fine. I just don't understand. But what people don't sometimes take into account is that the family member's got a lot of other things going on. They may have to be taking time off work. They're worried about losing their job. They may be trying to manage several children, getting to their appointments on time. So we never know what these folks are having to deal with at the bedside. So our job is really just to be as helpful as we can at the bedside and help people, patients and families kind of transition back to their house and be able to take good care of their family member once they get discharged. Of course, communicating well, greeting everybody, mindful of your tone. It's supposed to say tone, not time of voice. Sorry about that, guys. Be mindful of nonverbal signals. I think that's really important. You know, if you've got your arms crossed and your head down, or if you're busy doing something else and you're talking to somebody, you know, it's going to project a different image than if you're nodding your head, looking at them straight in the eye, you know, if it's culturally appropriate. And one of the best things you can do is if you've got somebody talking to you and telling you lots of things, using communication skills like, well, what I heard you say is that you're concerned about this. Is this correct? Because sometimes patients or family members will tell you lots of things that are going on, and sometimes we have to kind of pare down their concerns. So having that closed loop communication, letting them know what's going on, trying to make sure that you understand what their concerns are really important. At our hospital, and of course in nursing school, I'm sure, you probably have ID badges, and that we expect all of our folks to comply with the dress code, and make sure that we follow department policies. You know, we try to ensure consistency from department to department as far as how we document intake and output, how we communicate with our physicians and things like that. So putting those policies are going to into place will take practice on your part when you come and work for us. You know, show pride in the appearance of the facility. If there's something on the ground, even if you didn't drop it, you know, we all take a part in maintaining the hospital. Protecting the reputation of the organization. And that could be either your facility or it could be your nursing program while you're on and off duty. If we have folks that are experiencing roadblocks to getting something that they need, you know, that may mean climbing your chain of command to see if you can't. help somebody out. We've had people who wanted a particular type of food and the patient wasn't eating. And we've called the house supervisor, and the house supervisor would go down to the kitchen in the middle of the night, even though the kitchen was closed, and make sure that we got that one thing that the patient really wanted to eat, whether it was one of those little ice pops or whatever. Maybe they didn't have any on the unit. Practicing ethical behavior, that just means you're doing the right thing when no one else is looking. You know, it's important to do those things. Having proper telephone etiquette in both telephone and electronic communication skills are important. And just make sure that you accept responsibility for your behavior. And I will tell you, nobody is perfect. Everybody does, you know, has stuff that they can work on, whether it's organization, whether it is maintaining eye contact, communication, whatever those things are. You know, if someone comes to you, whether it is somebody who's precepting you or whether it's a nursing instructor, and they say, we see these things and we feel like you need to work on those things, just own it. I've been in situations where I've had a nursing student precepting with one of our employees who had some difficulty starting IVs and things like that. And what we did is we talked to her about it, and then we talked to the school, and this was a senior practicum that had been going on. And actually the school was able to help get that student some additional assistance. And the student got really good at starting IVs and understanding, you know, aseptic technique. And what was funny is we hired this student afterwards, and one of the things she told me is when she said, when you came out to the floor to talk to me, it really hurt my feelings that you were talking to me about that. She said, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me because I got the extra help that I didn't know I needed. So when people are coming to you guys, trying to help you, just kind of accept that responsibility. And if they, you know, if we or your school says, hey, you know, you need to do these things in order to be successful, you know, really kind of follow through with those commitments and do those things, because that's what's going to help you be successful in the long run. If you feel like you need assistance with something, you know, just be honest about it. You know, to me, honesty is always the best policy. If there's something you're not understanding, don't pretend like you understand something and then go do it. As far as email tips go, in our hospitals, and probably, I don't know about at the school level, but for us, anytime we email across the organization, not all emails are private. Our IT security can see everything that gets emailed in this facility. If I scan something to myself, and it comes over through my email, and I'm trying to make copies of my IRS form, and I make a copy of it and email it to myself, IT department can see everything on my IRS form. Make sure you don't email when you're mad. If you're mad when you're emailing, don't email it back right away. Take an hour, walk away, look at it again. Remember, anytime you email somebody, it can always be forwarded or replicated to someone else. So, you know, don't send angry emails. So, if you're unsure of what some of these things are, you know, I'm sure everybody's been using email and texting and all that probably for a really long time. What I will tell you guys is this: remember, in email, you can have an email that says it's to somebody. Do y'all know what CC means on an email?
You add it every person, right?
Carbon copy.
Yeah, carbon copy. Yeah. So and then there's just so you guys know, I don't know if you know this, but there is such thing as a BCC, and it doesn't always like show up when you go to send an email. You have to specifically ask for it, but that stands for blind carbon copy. So somebody could be sending you an email and blind copying somebody else so they can see it. So be aware of that. So what I'd say is this, is if you're sending an email to somebody and you carbon copy somebody on the email, they will be able, everybody is able to see it. And sometimes it's just an informational thing to say, hey, I carbon copied so-and-so on this email so they can see what we're talking about. Make sure that you review your message before you send it. It's always good to use a salutation like hi or hello or good morning. If an email is sent out to like 12 people in your group in school, it may not always be appropriate to reply all. You know, you may just want to reply back to your instructor. Make sure you always put a subject line on your emails. I really, as far as when you're emailing, make sure that you don't use sarcasm or using all caps. That indicates that you're yelling. Try to keep your emails short. If you're not sure how your email reads, get somebody else to look at it before you send it. Because sometimes emails are one of the most misinterpreted things that can ever happen by a reader. So please remember that when you're receiving emails or when you're sending emails that, you know, the way you feel that day may be the way that you're reading it. So I'm going to show y'all a couple of emails. So this is the first one. And this is written from my educative standpoint. Terry, sending out another email reminder. Your BLS card is due January 21st. Okay, here's the next one. Which would you rather receive? Well, what does the first email indicate?
Can you go back to the first?
Sure. Yeah, here's the first one.
I'll say affirmation. It's in bold. Another is in bold.
Yeah. Would y'all like getting that email?
Not professional.
It's not professional. Yeah, I agree. And those are things that we look at even in documentation. Like if you wrote something like in a note that says called physician again, you know, there's no reason to write the word again. If you write several times in the chart that the patient, you know, or that the physician was informed, there's no reason to write the word another or again, especially it being bold. So, you know, just kind of be aware of those things, even when you guys email your instructors and things like that. The next one, y'all feel okay about that one? Is it professional? Yeah, it's a little more professional. And although I may not like getting the email, but I mean, at least it tells the person that there's consequences of what happens if the BLS card is not received. Okay, so this one is another one. So pretend you are an instructor receiving this email. What do y'all think about that email? Yeah, all caps is not good. And it's a little confusing, isn't it? I mean, we really don't know what's wrong. I mean, they can't get in, but we don't know why. So here's another option. Do y'all like that one better? Yeah. At least it tells the steps of what they did to try to fix it. And I think it gives a little more complete picture. What I really encourage you guys to do, and anybody who takes my nurse residency class, is what I'll tell you is make sure you guys look at your policies for the school. Okay, if the school has a policy on something, you guys should know it. And we have things called chain of command, and I'm sure you have something like that at the school as well. And it really will help you kind of figure out, like, if I have a problem with this, what do I do? And what is my chain of command? It really will improve efficiency when you're trying to get problems taken care of, and it also creates some type of structure for you guys to know, like, okay, I did this and this and this, and this is what the policy says. So these are the steps I can take to, you know, get my computer fixed, or these are the steps I can take to get, you know, to get assistance with X, Y, or Z. So I think those things are really helpful. In the hospital world, for us, our chain of command outlines when we should call a doctor. You know, that we should be informing our charge nurse before calling a doctor, so the charge nurse knows what's going on in our rooms if we're having a patient deteriorate, or we're having a patient concern. You know, it'll tell us what to do if we call a doctor and there's no answer. It tells us that we should be verifying the phone number, notifying the charge nurse again, calling the house supervisor, and if we need to, we can call the administrator on call. And if in the meantime we have a patient who's having difficulties, we also have something called rapid response, where we have a whole team of people who can come to the bedside and assist that patient. And all we have to do is call them overhead. So it really kind of helps our staff. So on your journey to becoming an expert nursing student, just remember, experts are made, not born. And any expert was once a beginner. So that's you guys. And you will get better with practice. And what I encourage you guys to do is seek out people who are well informed, whether it is, you know, people here at our hospital and you're coming to do clinicals, or it is your instructors. Look to hang around people or be with people who are good at coaching themselves. Emulate some of the things that they do. Just remember that you should really try to practice tasks that are beyond your level of competence. Okay? Experts practice things they can't do well, or things that they can't even do at all. So when you're on clinical side or you're out in the working world, if you are not good at starting IVs, that's exactly what you need to be doing, is trying IVs. Finding out the best IV person on your unit to go work with them and figure out what are they doing, because practice is going to make perfect. Anybody who's going to become an expert needs people in their lives who are coaches, who are going to give them constructive and even painful feedback. Okay, so, you know, if you are getting feedback from an instructor that says, hey, you really need to do X, Y, or Z, that's a good thing. It really is, because they're investing their time into you to make sure that you are successful. They know what it takes to be successful in that program. Same thing with our preceptors here on site. Research shows that gifted performers or athletes need a minimum of 10 years of really intense training before they win international competitions. So know that no matter where you go, you're going to have to practice in a new field. I am a by nature an ICU nurse. If I went over to nursery, I am a novice. I know nothing of that world. I've never worked in that world, so I'm kind of starting back from scratch. Yes, I carry with me some skills, but I have never taken care of infants in my life as far as doing it for a full-time job. So, I would be walking in just as new as a lot of other people. So know that wherever you go, you're going to have things to learn. So remember, achievements of every organization are the result of the combined effort of every individual. Okay, that goes for the hospital as well as out on the football field. And success is focusing the full power of all you are on what you have a burning desire to achieve. So you guys have a burning desire to be a nurse, and I congratulate all of you guys because you're going to do a fantastic job. We can't wait to see you here on clinical site. Just know that this is going to be an awesome journey for you guys, and you're going to do great things. Does anybody have any questions?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank you guys very much. And my name's Amy Russell, and we look forward to seeing you guys when you come do clinicals.
Thank you, Amy.
I'm trying to click out, sorry. Do I need to do anything else? Or when I click out, you'll get it?
The red button, leave the meeting.
Okay, well. Okay, it says I am sharing this screen. Stop sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, the red button, leave the meeting, the X button. Okay, hey y'all,
And then
thank
we'll
you.
give it back to me. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Well, since we have 2 minutes before lunch, you want to do play this? I didn't get an average, so I'll do it. Crystal Williams. Like I was looking at names and like I was like at lunch and right now, now, Sophia? It's a blank email, no subject, but.
Okay.
All right. Yes. Everyone's having the same question. Let me get my microphone. Oh. These rules are coming into play with your dosage calculations for pharmacology. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
It is on. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. I'm gonna have to just take this. All right. So.
It's not.
Lot of your math is great, but dosage calculations, if you were in the hospital setting and you wrote, this can be misinterpreted in a multitude of ways. This is one of the most common errors for dosage calculations, for giving wrong medications, wrong amount of medications that can lead to patient death. So if there's a decimal, we're always going to put a 0. If it's just a 6.3 or whatever, you don't put trailing zeros, only a leading 0. And then when we're rounding, we only round if this is greater than 5. Then it changes this number. So with number 1, the answer is 5.3. The 10th is in what spot? It's in the 1 spot. So then of this number, what number is in the 1 spot? The 10th. The number 3. So what is behind the number 3? So do we round the 3 to a 4? No. So the answer is 5.3. Stays there. That makes sense? What spot is the 100th in? The number 2? The 10th? 100th. So then in number 2, what is your number that is in the 100th position? The 2. What is behind the 2? So do you round your 2? Yes. So answer is 0.63. Brought to 0, that can be led to a error and kill the patient. Real. Okay? I promise you the average from today to tomorrow is phenomenal everywhere. Okay? What space is this one? Thousandths. And then number 4, 10,000. So this is where some became an issue further on in the paper. That you rounded to the 3rd spot, not 4th spot, because the questions are having a rounding rule of 10,000, not the 1,000. So then for number 3, what is the 1,000? So I'm skipping ahead. What number? the first 4, so then you just leave it there, right? The 4 doesn't go anywhere after. So with number 4, what is the answer that you get? 24,586. You have to be careful with these commas. You have to be careful with your numbers. I can't read your number, and I can't make sure that that's a comma, not a decimal. You got it wrong. Again, interpretation, you killed your patient. Yes. So number 4 is 24,586.
Mm-hmm.
So number 5, what is the answer? So how many threes? 4. More threes, because we're to the 10,000. If you were 1 short on a 3, you got it wrong. Number 6. If you rounded wrong, you got it wrong. You have to go all the way to the 10,000. You got to watch the rules, and the rules change throughout the paper. Follow your rules. Number 7. 9.6707. Whole thing. 10,000. Number 8. Some people didn't even try this one. 3. It's 3. I did it wrong the first time. You see, I wrote it out online. So let's do this one full. 5 1/4 divided by 7/4. How do we do this?
Proper fraction.
Improper fraction, so how do you do that? 21/4. How do you do that?
And multiply.
You can invert it or like those calculators. So like very precise. So it comes out to 1.25 divided by 75. 3. Or you can invert it, which is great if you are great at inverting and don't get it up, because it's one of the ways that there's calculations. So that might be the way for you to go. Maybe not others. There's 3 different ways we'll learn next week. You pick which one you like. So this is kind of showing you what you do know, what you don't know, where I need to get you in the next 6 weeks. This is really for us, so that we know where the class is starting at. And then also to feel out what direction of the way for you to choose your liking. 9. 20. Whole number. What about 10? 1/21. Right. Were there any rules on this one? Just a fraction. So if you gave me a decimal, you got it wrong. But any fraction that was correct would have been fine. So 5/100 or 1/20. So just like in test world, if there is something to be left up to interpretation, I have to accept multiple answers. So if something comes up, but you don't get to see your exams per se afterwards, but you do get your topics to review, you kind of remember, oh yeah, that was a dumb question I really had to follow up. So you remember it, but you can't see it again, bring it up to us. It might have been written weird. You may have used a terminology that you didn't know. We need to know these things so we can correct and improve the test for next time. And then there are multiple times that we have to accept more than one answer after we've already opened it. So we're not beyond having issues. We're not perfect. Accidents do happen. We are writing our exams for human. Next. So number 11. 1/2 or 50 over 100. 12. Yep, 35 over 100 or 7 over 20. 13 is 16. 14, 45. What is 15? Was there any rules? No. So some people gave me 1/6, some people gave me 6 with the repeating symbol. Some people just put 1/6. And those are all perfectly fine. 26.6. What about 16? 1200. So, for the first few weeks, you're going to get this chart conversion. You're going to have to memorize it. Most of it. You're going to need to know how to convert ounces to pounds, ounces to milliliters, milliliters to cups, teaspoons, tablespoons, liters, milliliters, pounds, kilograms, milligrams, ounces, and cups. Know those by your dosage calculation exam, which is on your table. Okay. So how do we go from 1.2 grams to milligrams? Times 1,000. Well, yeah. So for people who like to do it this way, it's all correct. So you're cross multiplying, your units are going to go away, and then you get the kilograms. So you don't have to convert it again, and then you get the same thing. This is the way that a lot of people like to do, especially in the beginning, which you'll see in my lecture next week. The reason I lost my voice, I pre-recorded it. This method won't get you so far. When we get later into like IV stuff, you're going to have to learn another method. So, we're going to use this type of method later on. You're going to need to move on it. But it works great for conversion. Being set up, and you can just keep on going. So you can go from grams to milligrams. I guess you can't go any further than milligrams, but micrograms. But you can go, like we'll have to do 3 steps on one of these. You just lay them all out. So then there's also the so you have your unit. That's wrong. Anyway, going from kilos, milligrams to micrograms, you're going to move it the same way, your decimal 3 places. And if you're going the other way, then you move it 3 places. So it's just the same thing as multiplying by 1,000 by moving the decimal. If you just remember your decimal, it's the same thing. So literally, I just take, and then I fill in my zeros. And then my answer is 1200. That makes sense. So like 3 different ways now, so. Sorry if I confused you. All right, 18. What's the answer? 0.4. Don't forget the 0. If it's 0, you got it wrong. I skipped 17. What's 17? 22,000. 19. 320. 1. Some people went the other way with their 0 for the decimal and ended up with like 0.01 and then rounded to 0. Make sure you're going the right way. 21. 30. Why? 1 tablespoon is 15 milliliters. So then how many is 2 tablespoons? 30 milliliters. So then how many milliliters are now? 30. So 30 divided by 30. Did everybody follow that, or do I need to do that? Right. So 2 tablespoons is what we got. We're going to do conversion factor. We're going to need to know tablespoons first. How many milliliters is in a tablespoon? 15. Now we need to go from milliliters to ounces. How many milliliters are in an ounce? 30. So then 2 times 15 divided by 30. You have the long number, but it's going to equal. That's the conversion way. You just keep on going until you convert it to what you need. Is 30, and then divided by 30. But got it? 23. 1.9. Yep, 1.9. What did you put? Nothing after the 9? I had 3 points. It's not recorded. This is all for practice to show growth by the end of the week. So it is important for you to know how to do these things for next week's calculation. We're going to take these problems and turn them into dosage calculation. So 56 milliliters, and you're going to convert it to end out with ounces. So how many milliliters is the ounce again? So 56 divided by 30, 9. Yes? I'm losing one. Number 24 is 2, 25, 0.5, 26, 27, 0.7. Some people rounded that one wrong. So this equals 0.6666, but rounding to the 10th. And 28. 29. 1.5. 30. 17.3. Some people went the wrong direction with the 2.2. Here you are to divide. So pounds to kilos, you're going to get smaller. Kilos to pounds, you're going to get bigger. And 31. Yep. 32. And 33. Good job. You will get a homework to practice more of these problems for tonight before tomorrow. Okay? But you can keep that one also to look at. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, lunch, come back, 1:20. Take, yeah, so after online, whenever we take our lunch, can we just hang out in here? At your own risk, doing social distancing. I see. I did it. But there are masks off, but there's no official. There is an area on the third floor though. Yeah, I'm gonna be around, yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna set up and everything. After I get out the one. I will be away like 10 minutes and I'll be back. All right. This right here. You only do it one time.
I promise I'm not forgetting that.
No. I don't judge.
I just want you to know I'm gonna let you talk. Okay, I'm gonna let you talk. So it.
I'm waiting for that. I wasn't.
We're coming up 120.
I'll turn the light but and set them up on these points, one sheet for certified, and then that way you plan it. Do that way, or no one is ready. The numbers that they I got there. Okay. Oh, okay. This is
Exactly.
I like that one. That means. I'll probably go upstairs. Yeah. That's what we're trying to get. So this was a good, so this whole week is practice. So whatever you're doing as a purpose, so none of this mindset. Doesn't have class, but getting you all on the same page. That's the most important. So now I know what everyone's at. And I can just start because everyone thinks someone took calculus, geometry, what is it? The 1101, 1103, and 1111. Everyone has a different background, not the same background in the same year. So trying to get everyone up to the same thing. I don't need to do that. That was my biggest thing. Usually, traditionally, orientation is just the first day of class, and just build it. But then trying to take pictures and the map, and you only have like 4 weeks for your exam. Like, I need to start with that. No. So that's why I've been incorporating it. And I'm just the time that first. And when I first pulled up, there were no markers available. I just stood in line, no marker came available, but I don't know back I'm going to get back into the drive. So I just waited for someone to pull out. And then they handed me not my bag. It had my name on it, but it was not my food. When I looked at it, and I was like, ma'am. And they put me back.
Of course.
So I had extra food.
Oh, nice.
So you brought me my food, and I ate it. Big old bag of food.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
I didn't buy it.
Right, exactly. Kind of my fun.
Oh, y'all are learning a lot about me. I have a problem. Also, I've been working on the lab upstairs, trying to get all the linens and stuff clean. I am tired of doing laundry. I do enough at home, and then I have to do this one. There's like 6 loads of laundry on the table in the middle of the lab upstairs, and I'm just like, I put the linen on the mannequin beds, but I don't know about the rest of this. I don't feel like fooling it. There's 2 more mannequins that are naked. I gotta go dress them and put their sheets on, but some of them are heavy. The sim guy and the sim mom are heavy, so I gotta take them.
Interesting.
What are you doing? Putting them in the right order. They return them to us now. I don't keep track of who has which laptop. For them to sign in easier on the ones that we're going to continue to use. Easier to find them on those things. Run right. How many you got